Okay. Hello, my name is Dora Serna. I am from Bogota, Colombia. I have living in Dubuque for 15 years. My husband is bilingual and he has a work visa. And I was just the spouse. And I don't know any English. I don't know. I have no idea how to drive in a city like Dubuque. No English, no transportation. I was isolated for almost 2 years. I was taking English classes, but when he was at home, I I have no how I come to the classes. So I decided that I need to do something for myself, and I learned how to drive little by little, and I have my license. And I went to every single English class in the Dubuque, and I was really thankful because we're free for free. First at the NICC, and then to the sister of the presentation, I have one tutor, and I have like in the morning, in the afternoon, I have my kid. I got pregnant, and when I was at the hospital, it was so difficult because the nurses were talking about my body to my husband, and they were explaining things and pointing and telling him, "Oh, you need to translate her. Tell her this or the." But they were pointing my body, and I feel horrible. At that point, I said, "Oh no, I need to learn the language because no." So I started learning. I know it's not perfect, but at least I can communicate. Since that, um, based on my experience, I try to be an interpreter, but also I try to tell the people that it's very important to have the language because I can translate words but no feelings. If I go to the doctor, I can tell, oh, he or she is in pain, but I cannot tell what kind of pain or the real feeling, so it's very difficult. The education system here is so different from, at the beginning for me was a shock because in my country the education based on respect, discipline, and homework. And here you don't have homework. I think the best thing is being patient because at the beginning language is a barrier, but the little ones learn really fast. If you are translating, they are not going to learn. So at the beginning they need somebody with patience and show them that they can do many things. So for the Latino at the beginning it's very difficult because at home, and this is in my home also, I just speak Spanish. So when they go the first year to school, it's like at the beginning they are a little lost, they don't understand, they usually look like I need help until they accustomed to the new language. So it's just have a little somebody who be for them and be patient, and that's it. For me the most difficult are the teenagers because they left family, some of them, but especially friends. So to have a new friends, a new language is the most difficult. So for me, the school district need to have more than one person with the ELL to help this community, not just the Latino. There are many other kids that need help.
My name is Jennifer Dirks. I'm the ELL teacher for the Dubuque Community School District. I travel between 3 buildings, mostly teaching middle school students. I'm itinerant, so I travel and start my day at Roosevelt. I teach one class of English language learners, and then I travel to Jefferson and teach 2 periods there. an advanced group and a beginners group of English language learners, and then I end my day at Washington teaching 2 classes, 6th and 7th hours. My students are from 6 different countries. I serve 36 students. 25 are Marshallese, or they like to be called Marshallese Islanders. They speak the language of Marshallese. My next big culture would be students from the Philippines. I have 5 students from the Philippines. I have 3 students that speak Spanish, and their descendants are from Mexico, or their families are from Mexico. So I have 3 Mexican American students, 1 student from Ethiopia, 1 from Albania, and 1 student from Taiwan. So it's pretty diverse. So the misconception, it's interesting, every day somebody will come up to me and say, the first question people ask is what languages do you speak? That's always the first question, which would be very difficult to speak 6 different languages. I know what it's like to speak a language because in middle school and high school and college I took French, so that's the language that I chose to learn. But I think it's just knowing where students have the most difficult time when learning a second language, and just knowing the phonology of a language and knowing how to teach newcomers in particular. The students that I work with are the most wonderful students that I've ever worked with. They're such kind individuals. They really want to succeed in school. But I think oftentimes, motivation can set in middle school. They might be anxious if they're learning English for the first time. Most of my students, like I mentioned earlier, have been in the program for quite some time. So my job is to make sure they're more academic, where they're getting that language that's so difficult as you get older. But when students are newcomers, it's just allowing them to learn, and they can be anxious. They go through a silent period, which I think a lot of people are not aware of. So I think it's just giving them a voice, because they don't know how to voice how they feel as a learner, because it's so different from where they're coming from. Like, teachers just don't take the time to really know even where these students are from. So I think you have to honor their culture and also honor what other languages they speak, and also embracing that if they ever need to use that first language in their classroom, that's so helpful for them. But I think we're so American that these kids kind of shy away from their culture, and they shy away from their first language, which it should always be embraced. And I think that's kind of a misconception, that these families think once they come here they can no longer speak their first language within the school environment. Because when they're at home, I know all of my Marshallese, they're expected to speak Marshallese. I don't think they speak English much at home. So it would be so difficult for them to succeed academically when they don't have that connection at home. They're not read to in English like you and I were read to when we were young, or just sitting down with your mom or dad and doing homework. They probably don't have those experiences. So school for them is important, but I think their group is more important. They're more connected with their people and going to church and believing in God. That's more important than getting an A on a math test. I just think that they come to school with such a wide range of experiences. Even some of my students too, I have some families or some students that don't even live here with their parents, where their parents are not living in the United States, so they're living with either an aunt or uncle or maybe a sister. So a lot of these families are displaced, and their values are just different maybe from our values. So I think it's important just to kind of remember that they're lifelong learners, and it's really kind of our job to teach them what our expectations are for them.